And if your Instagram feed needs a little help, we've got some advice from a true pro. Carolyn Marino is a fashion blogger and Seattle Public Schools educator. She gives us a lesson on the art of the Instagram photo.
You know, I gave him a shout out last time and I'll do it again, but I think the art really comes from having a great Instagram husband. But I think, if you don't have one, just a photographer that you're comfortable with and has the patience to try a bunch of different shots with you, that will go a long way.
Yeah, my producer, Rebecca, she is my Instagram wife. And oh my gosh, I just say, Beck, I need an Instagram, and she's the best.
Right, because like, can you take it a little further back? Can you try it from this different angle? And if they can, jam with you with that, then they're a friend for life.
And don't you feel like there's this kind of shame that, as we're a little bit older than most of these influencers, a shame that we need to get away from, that it's okay to be like, I don't like that picture, please retake it?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's about communication of your needs, which is at any point in life. I honestly even sometimes do this with like strangers who take like your couple pictures at like the Grand Canyon or something. You're like, okay, I'm already, stepping out here and asking a stranger to take our picture. I don't want to get the picture back in this beautiful location. And it's just kind of like only your face, right?
Yeah.
And so I just politely ask, like, thank you, if you can, and you kind of set this shot up for them. Can you make sure I really get this background here? And thank you. And then, I always ask if I could take a photo back for them. So it's a little tradesy.
What about when taking pictures? You're saying, set it up, have your friend take it, but like, you have to know the best angles, right? And what looks good for you.
Yeah. And this might be where practice makes better. I'm not going to say practice makes perfect, but I think practice makes better. So knowing your personal favorite angle and what looks good for you might be my tip number one.
How do you find that? You just got to play with your camera and stuff?
Yeah, I think over the years, as we've had candidates taken of us or we've taken selfies ourselves, we might have like preferred angles. I tend to like to switch between looking at the camera and maybe smiling and, looking away, or I like the right side of my face a little bit more. And I tend to like standing in pictures a little more. So you just kind of see what really works for you over time.
Okay, I come here for that. I feel that. I also sometimes I cringe at my own Instagram because I'm like, all these pictures of me. But that is what it's about. It is a representation of you. How do you kind of switch it up so it's not just like selfie, selfie, selfie?
Yeah. So my second tip is switching up angles in your feed. So that might be one where you have a close-up selfie, maybe then the next one, it's a little more environmental of you and the background is more of the feature. And then maybe the next one can be a flat lay of items that you're really loving. So I prefer a more varied feed, like you're saying, just to make it more interesting and switching it up.
What about framing your shot? I know that a lot of folks, like when we see these pictures of our friends, I just look at all these and I'm like, how do you get this great frame? Like, how important is that?
I think the frame is everything. So my next tip is really knowing the purpose of your photo and environment. And I know for most people, it's like taking a picture just for fun, putting it on Instagram. But if there is a message you want to convey, like you really want the outfit to come through, or you want the environment to come through, then think about the frame that would complement that message. So for example, if I have an edgier outfit, I might want to test like an angle from below. So that kind of shot. Okay. If I want more of an environmental shot because I'm traveling and I want to feature the background more, then I might be smaller in the frame or on the side of the frame so that I'm not in the center of the photo's attention.
There's a lot of flack about filters. Oh, hashtag no filter, or filters are bad. Some of these filters are totally catfish filters. They look nothing like you, but there is some creativity in being able to edit, right? Like make a sunset brighter.
Absolutely. So my last tip is that editing goes a long way. So my favorite app to use is Snow app, and you can definitely get really carried away with this app, but I like it because it's just got so many natural filters even. So I might dial it down so the picture is not completely distorted. Okay. But it does brighten up some of the spots. Like you might be able to see some before and after pictures here, but it's really taking a photo that looks pretty good, but just changing the lighting so it gives that message that you want. Maybe it's airy, or maybe the photo colors are more saturated. And then I edit details in Photoshop if necessary.
All right. Hey, Carolyn, thank you so much for chatting about this. I know a lot of us can get kind of squeamish when it comes to like talking about the inner workings of picture taking, but I really like that we've had an open conversation.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know, it's just fun. And so we don't always have to take it so seriously, but just have a good time with it.
I love that.